Welcome to Midnight Tales, where fear has a voice. And tonight, that voice belongs to the road itself. Midnight Tales, where fear has a voice. The story is about a man striving alone on a dark, endless road. First is only the storm, the fog, and the silence. But soon, the silence begins to whisper. And what he finds waiting in the dark will follow him long after the drive is over. So, sit back, turn down the lights, and don't look in the rearview mirror. This is The Woman on the Road. Ethan had driven this stretch of countryside more times than he could count. Familiar route, straight ribbon of asphalt, cutting through farmland and forest. But tonight, something felt different. The night pressed heavy against his windshield. The storm rolled in without warning, thick fog curling between the skeletal outlines of trees. His headlights pushed forward, but the darkness seemed alive, pressing in from every side like a great beast stalking him. The wipers dragged slowly across the glass, back and forth, back and forth. Each scraped louder than the last, until even the hum of the engine seemed uncertain. His phone blinked once, no signal. The GPS screen dimmed to black. He was alone, too alone. At first, it was just the storm, the fog, the silence. And then, Ethan saw her, a woman, standing perfectly still at the roadside. Her white dress clung to her skin, soaked through by the rain. Her hair hung heavy, strands of it plastered across her pale face. She didn't move, didn't lift her hand for help, didn't even seem to breathe. Ethan slowed, his chest tightening. His mind screamed, "It's just someone lost, just someone caught in the storm." But his guts said otherwise. Something about her was wrong. And when she lifted her head, saw her eyes, black, hollow, endless, like pits carved into her skull, and her mouth stretched into a grin, far too wide, far too deliberate, far too hungry to be human. Ethan's foot slammed the accelerator, tires hissing on wet asphalt, and his headlights. Nothing. The woman was gone. Ethan's heart pounded. His throat ached with a scream he refused to let out. He forced a laugh, thin, brittle. Just the fog, my eyes playing tricks. And then, tap, tap, tap from the rear window. Ethan froze, slowly. Against every instinct, he dared a glance at the mirror. Her face pressed against the glass, water dripping from her hair, her grin stretched impossibly wide. Watching him, mocking him, Ethan swerved violently. The car skidded, the shadows on the roadside twisting unnaturally, stretching, reaching for him. Branches clawed at the metal, scraping long, jagged lines. And then, the whisper, low, curling inside his skull. "You can't leave me here." The air inside the car froze. Each breath burned his chest. He looked to the passenger seat, empty, but he felt her there, wet strands of hair brushing his shoulder, a chill breath against his neck. Ethan gasped, his knuckles wide around the wheel. Panic clawed at his ribs. He wanted to scream, to jump from the moving car, to do anything but sit there. And then he remembered. Dangling from his rearview mirror was a silver cross, keepsake from his grandmother. The only thing in the world that suddenly mattered. Hands trembling, Ethan clutched it. Muttered a prayer he hadn't spoken since childhood. The words cracked and broken, but desperate. The chorus of voices rose, not his own, not hers. Others, hundreds, whispering, laughing, crying, chanting. Frost spread across the inside of the windshield. The car shook, buckling under an invisible weight. And then, silence. The warmth returned. The air loosened. The passenger seat, empty again. Ethan exhaled a sob, pressed the gas harder. The road stretched endlessly ahead, but the relief lasted only seconds. Every shadow twisted, every branch bent toward him. And always, always, he thought he saw her, in the fog, in the trees, standing in the middle of the road, and each time he blinked, she was gone, but not far, never far. Hours later, or what felt like hours, he spotted it. A single light in the storm, gas station, civilization, safety. Ethan pulled in 2 fast tires, spitting gravel. The attendant stood frozen behind the counter, eyes wide at the sight of him. Ethan didn't speak, didn't explain. He just shoved money across the counter, his fingers trembling, face pale. The attendant opened his mouth, but Ethan was already gone. Back on the road, Ethan dared one glance at the rearview mirror and froze. A single strand of wet hair dangled across the glass, slowly swaying, as if alive. His foot pressed the accelerator, harder, harder, because deep down he knew the woman wasn't gone. She was never gone, okay? And somewhere behind him, in the endless fog, a voice whispered low, sweet, inevitable, "You belong to the road now." The night is never done, and neither are the stories. Until next time, stay in the shadows, if you dare. Midnight Tales. Thank you for watching. If you like the story, please like, share, comment, and subscribe.